Hello there. I thought today I might talk to you a little bit about a vase painting which proves something I say all the time, which is that there is no right version of a myth, there's no original version of a myth, there's no canonical version of a myth. There are just different versions of myths from different points in antiquity, and often even those that come to us from the same sort of period will contradict one another, which is one of the things that makes the investigation of ancient myths such a fulfilling and fruitful study. And this vase painting is held in the Vatican Museums, in the Etrurian Museum. I haven't been to see it since I was, 20, 21, so I really need to go back. And it's painted by the Douris painter. He had signed some 20 or 30 or so vases, and there are a couple of hundred which I think are attributed to him by virtue of the style of the cup or vase. I am for sure not skilled enough to do that attribution, but art historians luckily are. And it shows a moment which we might not be familiar with in the story of the quest for the Golden Fleece. And the version of the story that's probably most familiar to us is the version told by Apollonius in the Argonautica. So Jason survives the terrible tasks imposed on him by Aeetes, the king of Colchis, in exchange for which Aeetes says he'll give Jason the Golden Fleece. Obviously not expecting him to survive, but Jason does survive with the assistance of Medea. And then the two of them go to the sacred grove, where the Golden Fleece is guarded by an unsleeping snake. And they, in Apollonius's version, Medea hypnotizes the snake, steals the fleece, and they make off with it back to the Argo and sail away. And in this version of the moment where Jason encounters the giant snake, there is no sign of Medea. So is this like a counterfactual? I mean, I do see that myth can't be really, but counter-mythical version of the story. What happens if you take Medea out? Is this the It's a Wonderful Life of Medea? Because the answer is nothing good happens to Jason when Medea isn't there. The right-hand side of the image is the goddess Athene, of course. You can't help but identify her. She's got the helmet, she's got the spear, she's got the Gorgonaeon, the head of Medusa, on her aegis. You can tell it's early. This is early 5th century BCE, because the Gorgonaeon has its tongue out, and that's early images of Gorgons, and Gorgonaea have the sticking out tongue. They'll get beautified during this century, the 5th century BCE. And she is looking downwards quite calmly at the sight of Jason, a hero who she helps in Apollonius and other sources, who is half in, half out of the gigantic maw of the unsleeping snake that guards the Golden Fleece. You can tell that that's who it is. One, the Golden Fleece is behind him. No other hero is associated with it particularly. And two, his name is on the vase. It's impossible to see on internet pictures, but you'll have to take my word for it. The name Jason, Jason, is inscribed on the vase. So what is going on here? Is this, as I say, not fully seriously, what happens if Medea isn't available to Jason? He just gets chomped up by the snake. There are scholars and academics who have argued for various different interpretations of this painting, because it is a really difficult one to interpret. In the first instance, is Jason dead or alive? His eyes are open, but one of the first things you do with a dead body in ancient Greece is close the eyes. His arms hang limply down, his fingers are slightly curled, his hair is completely lifeless too. Sorry, that sounds like a shampoo advert, but you know what I mean. And he is, there's no way around it. He's half out of the jaws of a gigantic snake, certainly from below the hip. He is in the throat of the snake. There are scholars who have argued that in fact this is a really quite impressive ruse on Jason's behalf, that he is not in fact dead. He is not even pining for the fjords. He is actually alive. He has been swallowed whole by the snake, and like Heracles in one of his labours, he has then killed the snake from the inside out. And so it is the snake, in fact, who is in all kinds of trouble. I can't lie, the snake doesn't look like it's in all kinds of trouble to me. its eyes are open, but he looks a great deal more alive than Jason. It's hard. How would you draw the snake to look alive if not like this? He is upright. He's defying gravity in full Wicked terminology, and Jason is very much not doing that. He looks pretty alive to me. I'm not sure. I think that Jason has successfully killed the snake. As for Jason, if he's not dead, he's about to be. Is Athene going to rescue him? Is he going to recover? One argument for the snake being dead, I have to tell you, is that we can't see its tongue. I'll tell you why you can't see its tongue. There's a gigantic man in the way, the one who looks dead. But this is the sort of thing that we have scholarly debates about. So I wanted you to see it. I think it's really cool. And if you're off to the Vatican Museums anytime soon, send me a picture. I'd love to see it again. Thank you. Bye for now.